Welcome to Everything Tesla, Elon Musk, and SpaceX. Our future just changed with a single IPO. SpaceX, Elon Musk rocket and artificial intelligence company, blasted through records as it began trading on the stock market on Friday, making the world's richest man its first trillionaire and signaling a new era. The stock opened at $150 per share, more than the price finalized in the initial public offering Thursday, which was $135 a share. Now, it rose further in the first few minutes of trading. Today, we're talking about SpaceX and, of course, Elon Musk and the most amazing time in history. This was not the only thing that made Elon a trillionaire, by the way. Elon Musk's net worth also reflects stocks in the electric car maker Tesla, as well as ownership stakes in other ventures, including the brain implant company Neuralink and the Boring Company. Elon Musk founded SpaceX in 2002 and has since revolutionized the space industry with reusable rockets and with Starlink, a satellite internet offering that provides service to rural areas, airlines, and the Ukrainian army. And remember, earlier this year, SpaceX acquired xAI, Musk's AI startup, which has built massive data centers, creating a chatbot called Grok, and also owns X, the social media company formerly known as Twitter. But that was just the beginning. SpaceX officially priced the initial public offering at $135 per share, raising $75 billion in what is the largest IPO in stock market history. Shares began trading on the Nasdaq Global Select Market on Friday, June 12, under the ticker symbol SPCX. The valuation is anchored primarily by Starlink. Starlink crossed 10 million subscribers as of February 2026 and is adding 750,000 to 1.5 million new users per month, with the connectivity segment already posting a $1.19 billion in profit in the last quarter. The offering also bundles in xAI following SpaceX's all-stock merger earlier this year, adding Grok and the Colossus supercomputer to the investment thesis. Now, Starlink ended 2025 with $10 billion in revenue, a figure analysts project could reach $24 billion by the end of 2026. Wedbush analyst N. Ives has been vocal in his support. I think the time is right, Ives said, adding that the offering expands the Elon Musk ecosystem rather than competing with Tesla. An average 12-month price target of $165 per share represents roughly 22% of upside from the IPO price. Musk founded SpaceX in 2002 with a single purpose. Elon founded SpaceX with a goal to change humanity, to make us a multi-planet species, as CFO Brett Johnson said. Now, Musk himself has been more direct. We are building the system and technology necessary to provide global connectivity on Earth and beyond, to understand the true nature of the universe, and to extend the light of consciousness to the stars. Musk separately runs the electric car manufacturer Tesla and a handful of other startups. SpaceX could pave the way for other enormous debuts, including by the AI companies Anthropic and OpenAI, which also filed confidentially for an IPO this month. Both of those startups have valuation approaching $1 trillion. All three offerings could unleash an avalanche of wealth across Silicon Valley and Wall Street, creating new corporate titans in the process. And here's what you need to know about SpaceX's business. Now, while investors have so far leaped at the opportunity to purchase a piece of SpaceX, the company is still a money-losing venture. Now, the company lost more than $4.9 billion last year, compared with a $791 million of profit in 2024. However, there's a reason for it. Now, it's because of increased expenditures on AI, according to the IPO prospectus. Revenue was $18.7 billion last year, up 33% from the previous year. The first trades on Friday, a small fraction of SpaceX shares began trading under the Nasdaq Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol SPCX. Newly listed stocks trade after the market opens, and it may take several hours until transactions materialize. And that's because bankers spend Friday mornings trying to assess from traders how much demand there is to sell and buy SpaceX shares at various prices. They're also looking for an equilibrium price for which there's a generally the same number of sellers as there's buyers. That price did come in above or below the $135 a share price that investors agreed to pay in the company's IPO on Thursday night. It ended up at around $161 Friday at closing and $166.71 after hours. So far on Friday, SpaceX and its team of bankers have done a number of things earlier than expected. Now, investors typically find out how many shares they receive in an IPO around the time of the opening bell. But in this case, some big investors received word about 6:30 a.m., well before most other IPOs, according to the neutral fund manager. Now, similarly, it typically takes until earlier afternoon for the stock of large newly public company to start trading. Cerebra's maker of AI chips went public last month and started trading around 1 p.m. For the largest IPO ever. SpaceX got a relatively early start by kicking off trading before noon. And of course, SpaceX's early raise has made Elon a trillionaire. The stock would need to stay above roughly $138 to keep the net worth of 13 figures. Now, SpaceX opened trading at $150, up from their initial public offering price of $135 per share. That valued the company at nearly $2 trillion, exceeding the market capitalizations of other titans of American industry, including Walmart and General Motors combined. It was the biggest IPO ever, dethroning Saudi Aramco, Saudi Arabia's state-owned oil company, which was valued at $1.7 trillion and raised more than $29 billion when it went public in 2019. SpaceX raised $75 billion from its offering, more than the combined amount amassed by every other U.S. IPO over the last 2 years, according to Renaissance Capital, a research and advisory firm. Now, the pop in SpaceX's share price also catapulted Elon Musk to become the first trillionaire. Thousands of SpaceX employees also instantly became millionaires. Musk spent Friday at the company's headquarters in Starbase, Texas, where he celebrated with employees, family, friends, and investors. He said, "It is certainly hard to believe that a little company that started in a warehouse in El Segundo is now going public," referring to SpaceX's founding in 2002 in Southern California. SpaceX's blockbuster IPO paves the way for mega offerings by the AI startups like OpenAI and Anthropic, which are each valued at nearly $1 trillion. Never have $3 trillion entities gone public in the same year. Their stock market debuts could signal a new era of corporate power that arrived with SpaceX, OpenAI, and Anthropic joining the pantheon of tech giants like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, Apple, Netflix, and Meta. For SpaceX, the first day of trading capped a long road. Musk founded the company 24 years ago off the idea of making humans a multiplanetary species. For years, this dream of private spaceflight seemed to be out of reach, but Elon Musk has remade the space race with reusable rockets and transformed communications with the company's satellite internet service Starlink. Also, in February, SpaceX bought his AI company xAI, which owned the social media platform X, creating a conglomerate of the tech billionaires' various interests. Musk controls about 85% of the shareholder votes, as it should be, before the IPO because of a class of super voting shares and other corporate structures. In its IPO, SpaceX sold more than 555 million shares, representing a little more over 4% of the company's outstanding stocks. Now, the company and its bankers courted traditional institutional investors and encouraged wealthy individuals as well as retail investors to buy. SpaceX also wanted several indexes to change their rules so that its shares should be included faster than normal, which would eventually compel managers of large index funds to buy the stock. Now, SpaceX's stock price is expected to swing higher and lower in the weeks after its listing, not necessarily because of shifting opinions about the company, but because of certain technicalities. SpaceX is expected to face high demand for its relatively low numbers of shares available, potentially leading to sharp price rises. That could change as investor enthusiasm dies down and more shares become available to trade. SpaceX has said it plans to use the money it raises from its IPO to pay off loans and fund various moonshots, including Elon's goal of putting AI data centers into orbit, building a lunar factory, and eventually sending humans to Mars. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, Citigroup, JP Morgan, and 18 other banks served as underwriters for SpaceX's IPO. I hope you liked this video. If you want to know more about the possibility of SpaceX and Tesla merging within the next year, you could watch this next. Thank you so much for being here. This is Claudia, and goodbye.